start very much, it was like hot chocolate around the fire, and you know, they would come up at the weekend, that's how it started. But then they started being more organised, so they do actual lectures on all sorts of topics. So through the week there'd be some lectures. Maybe I should jump now to what we've done in Gretton, because Schaefer's daughter and son-in-law then came to England and started one in England, which is the L'Abri that we worked at, which was 1972, wasn't it?
72.
Thank you. So it's much more structured then. So if a student comes, we call them students. It's funny, we keep saying we probably should call them students. They're our visitors, our guests, but we call them students. When you come, the day is split into two halves, morning and afternoon, and half your day will be spent doing chores, as you would in any community: help prepare meals, gardening, wash toilets, that sort of thing.
Cutting grass.
Cutting grass, is that what you did?
Yes.
Okay. And then the other half of the day, you can go into our study room, which there's lots of books in there, and then all the lectures that all L'Abri workers have given since Schaefer back in the 50s have all been recorded, and so you can, we've got this wonderful catalogue now on all sorts of subjects: the arts, theology, philosophy, anything. Social justice, anything, yeah. And then you can go and, you know, spend the afternoon studying, listening to lectures. And everybody is assigned a tutor, which is one of the staff, the permanent workers who live there. And we sit down once a week just to walk you through your time, to help you with your studies, or you know, basically whatever you want to talk about.
So no curriculum?
So there's no set curriculum, yeah. Basically, your first tutorial, it's getting to know a person and saying, why are you here? What are you interested in doing whilst you're here? And most people don't really know what they're interested in. But we have certain things we can give people to just kick them off, to start off with. Meals, breakfast is everyone together in the morning, and then at lunchtime everyone's split up into three homes. This is when the students come into our homes. We have separate accommodation, but it's all on site. So at Gretton, where we are, we have this beautiful big manor house that has 3 flats in it, as well as all the dormitories where the students stay. And then we've some buildings that are in the grounds.
It's not 5-star. When Ralph came, he had to walk down how many sets of stairs to get to the bathroom?
It was actually up.
Oh,
Yeah, I was down at the end of this hallway where all the girls' dormitories were, and then I had to go down into this room, and that's where I was. And then 2 or 3 times during the night, you know how it is.
Yeah.
It was up those stairs, down the girls' hallway, up 2 or 3 flights of stairs.
Not 5-star.
And we take between 30 and 40 students. That's sort of our maximum number of time people there. And then at lunchtime we split probably to 3 homes. We have 3 tables, so you've maybe got 12 people around the table. And we call it formal lunch, and it's where we just ask, has anyone got a question or a topic that they want to bring up? And we just run with it for about an hour and a half and have a conversation whilst we're eating around the table. And then in the afternoon we go back to work study. And then some evenings are free, some there's a lecture. We always watch a film once a week together and then discuss it afterwards. Students have a day off when they can go off and do their sightseeing. So in many ways it's quite structured, and I think that's actually part of the blessing for a lot of people who come, where they don't have to think about what they're going to eat, when they're going to eat. You know, those things that we often say it's meal by meal at L'Abri.
Actually, that was Dushan years ago. Schaefer talked about moment by moment spirituality.
Yeah.
And Dushan, the master of the English language, said, no, it's more meal by meal spirituality. Yeah.
So that, yeah, that's,
I think
That's
that a really important aspect of the work is there's not a lot of agenda in terms of the guests who stay with us. So we very much want to offer them the space. We talked about last time about hospitality is the offer of space to someone. It's the space for their questions and their issues, which is why there's no curriculum. So the tutorial is really to help them in their studies, so their studies matches their issues and their questions. We had a disastrous experiment a few years ago where two people, actually both of them outside of the brief, says you need to have a week where you just do heavy lectures for people and get content, and I thought, we'll experiment. There was a total rebellion because they felt violated. Because the safe thing about Labrie was that actually they didn't have something foisted on them. They had the offer of genuine space for their issues to be discussed, and it took us a few months to recover it because they lost trust. You forced an agenda upon us. So that, now, there are some kinds of ministry where that's right. But the fact is, you tell people, this is what you're coming to, we're going to give you this content. Labrie's the opposite. At a lunch table or in a tutorial, you would have heard this many times, Aaron, is, well, what's your question? Actually, you just got back. You should be saying all of this. You're just off the boat. You're fresher than we are.
I think I just like the idea, and I was talking to someone here earlier about it, that is it Psalm 90, God is our refuge?
46.
46, yeah. And one of the words for refuge, God is our refuge and strength, one of the Hebrew words is home. And I think what's kept me there and what I'm passionate about for so long is this idea of home. And we've taught this weekend that we're in a homeless culture where people don't feel a sense of home. And in many ways, the manor house itself is like a home, the shelter. When you think of home, what do you think of? You think of somewhere where you can let your hair down, where you're accepted, where you're respected, where you're loved, you're cared for. That's safety. And so the whole place is like that. And then when they come into your home, when people come into your home, it's this same metaphor of a space for people. And then when you sit down with them in a tutorial, it's the same thing. It's the home. It's providing a space for them where they're going to be loved and respected. So that's kind of what kept me there and what I was passionate about there.